CHAMPS Live is presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare, Hungry Howie's, famous for flavor, and the Detroit Medical Center. Do you have a sports injury or are just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome to episode 52 of State Champs Live, presented by Lawrence Tech. You know, Lawrence Technological University offers 27 teams across 22 sports, track and field, and even men's volleyball, just some of the newest offerings. There's nothing quite like being a college athlete. If you've dreamed about it, well, check this out. If you go over to ltuathletics.com and click the Be Recruited tab on the homepage, fill out the questionnaire for your sport, and the incredible coaching staff will get it. Recruit yourself. You can even intern with the State Champs Sports Network team while you're living the dream and getting one of the best educations out there. It all begins at ltuathletics.com. We are live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter every Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. My name is Lorne Plant, and baseball is back. In fact, at least one Michigan baseball travel team is competing in Ohio as we speak. How's it going? University Liggett head coach Dan Cimini is my guest, but first, let's get to the headlines for Friday, June 12th. Edison's Blakely drafted. Just 33 of the first 100 players selected in this year's MLB draft were high schoolers, which is the fewest in draft history. Less than 30% of the 160 total picks were high school players, but Detroit Edison's Werner Blakely beat the odds, hearing his name called by the Angels in the fourth round. Blakely became just the fourth Michigan high schooler in 20 years to be selected in the first 4 rounds of the MLB draft. More Michigan draft ties. Blakely wasn't the only native Michigander selected on Thursday's second day of the MLB draft, as 4 collegiate players from the state's high school ranks were selected as well. The University of Michigan had 4 players taken, including former Portage Central star Jeff Criswell in the second round. Drafted by the Oakland A's, University of Michigan star and Ann Arbor Pioneer product Jordan Wogu went to the Cubs in the third round. Howell grad Sam Weatherly, the 2017 Mr. Baseball for the state, was drafted in the third round out of Clemson, while Central Michigan shortstop Xavier Warren became the first Birmingham Groves grad selected since Colin Kaline in 2011. Temperance Bedford grad Joey Weimer, a Cincinnati outfielder, went in the fourth round. Hockey Prospect League adding fall puck. To get more exposure for high school-aged hockey players, the North American Prospects Hockey League announced Thursday a new fall league for under 16 and under 18 teams that will run prior to the start of the high school hockey season in Minnesota, Michigan, and Wisconsin. There will be 3 events this fall, culminating in the Fall League playoff from October 16th through the 19th. First practice for MHSAA hockey is November 2nd, with the season starting November 16th. All right, those are the headlines. Let's get to today's Hungry Howie's Twitter question of the day. What are your thoughts on PlayStation 5, which was announced yesterday? Give it to me now. I'll take a pass. Let me see the price tag first. Yeah, believe that. Or I haven't seen it yet. So just find State Champs Michigan on Twitter and vote. We'll read the results tomorrow. Well, since we are live, I generally don't like pre-recording my interviews, but I had to today because our guest had a baseball game in Ohio today at the same time. But I felt it was important to hear from a coach who is playing games right now. So no live questions today since he is not here to answer them, but please enjoy the conversation I taped yesterday with Dan Cimini. Joining us today on live is Grosse Pointe Woods University Liggett head baseball coach Dan Cimini. Now, we've covered Dan and the Liggett Knights for years, and I believe when we discussed 7 Final Fours in the last 9 years, including, I believe, 4 state titles during that span. And the reason that we have Coach Cimini on the show today is that, to the delight of many of us, baseball is back. In fact, the reason we pre-recorded this interview Thursday is because Dan's travel team will be on the field at 2 p.m. Friday in Ohio. So, Dan, it's always great to talk to you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Lawrence. It's great to be here.
All right. I like to see you in your Liggett gear there. And your team has already been competing after an entire high school season loss What did it feel like getting a chance to get back on the diamond and back into competition?
I was telling a friend of mine the other day, it was like Little League opening day all over again. When I was 12 years old, I remember how excited we got. Well, that's how excited I was to be able to get these kids out on the field and hit them some fly balls and hit them some grounders. And they were so happy to be with each other. We've all been through a tough time and been cooped up here for a few months, and it's so nice to be able to get out with them.
Yeah, absolutely. It just feels like normal, which is what we haven't felt
exactly.
like.
We have not had normal for a while.
No. Now, we were talking earlier, and I was curious what steps they were taking in Ohio as it relates to fans in COVID-19. And I was shocked to hear you said that really none of that was going on. It's kind of business as usual.
It's business as usual. They have mandated social distancing, and they want us to be 6 feet apart and the fans to be 6 feet apart. And they've done a really good job of that. But the fans are going to be fans. They all want to be around each other. So I'm looking up in the crowd, and it looks like a regular packed house watching baseball like any other summer. And they're going crazy and having fun, and the kids are being great. And, we're sterilizing ourselves as far as washing our hands and making sure that the kids use their own bats and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's baseball as usual. And nobody's thinking about that. We're just going out there and playing and making sure that we're doing the right stuff to keep ourselves safe.
And supporting the kids. And that's the main thing is, getting these kids to feel what it feels like to compete, and that energy. It's what we need, for those who are athletes. It's so vital to just their existence. And they have put some measures in place too on the field in terms of bats and the balls and some of that.
Yeah, well, they won't let the umpires touch the baseballs. So each team's are responsible for their own baseballs when they're in the field. So any foul balls and stuff, we get them, we throw them back to our pitcher. But the umpires don't touch them. The other teams don't touch them. We make sure that we're keeping our own stuff safe.
Nice. Tell me about the makeup of your team. What's the name of the team? What affiliation are you with? And where are the guys from?
It's a Little Caesars organization sponsored by Atanas Illich, Mike Illich's son. We've been doing this for years. It's a 15U team. A lot of kids are from the Liggett area. I have some Liggett kids. I have some kids that go to school up in Frankenmuth, Midland Dow, Saginaw, that area. So it's a good group of guys, a good team, and I'm excited just to have them out playing baseball. And they're starting to mesh and gel with each other. They don't know each other really well. It's not like they've played years and years together. They've always played against each other. So this is a group that loves being out there playing baseball, and they all have aspirations to play college baseball. So that's my goal as a coach, is to prepare them to be able to do that someday.
What are some of the successes that maybe you've had as a franchise over the years?
Oh, we were always competing in tournaments, and all the college coaches that I know around Michigan and the Midwest, they know of Little Caesars baseball. And we've got had so many kids go on to play college baseball and a couple in the pros. So it's been a great organization. It's about mentoring kids, teaching them life skills, teaching them how to treat each other and how to be a good teammate. And after that, how hard it is to make it to the show or anywhere else. So once they learn all that kind of stuff and let their natural ability take over, then some of them get to go on and play college baseball, which is awesome.
You've had an opportunity to have the Liggett team get together and practice. I was thrilled to hear that the seniors who missed the season are with the guys getting ready for their prospective college seasons. But one last time to be a Knight.
Yes, it's been so much fun. We've gone through precautions with the school as far as making sure everybody is answering all the questions and they're all feeling well and they're not on flights and all kinds of stuff like that. But after they pass the protocol, we're all out there practicing, and it's like business as usual in the spring. But it's been so great to have those seniors out there that did miss that season. And all you seniors out there, our hearts are with you. It's unprecedented, and it's something that hopefully will never happen again. But this, unfortunately, is going to be that year that you'll all remember as that year that you didn't get to play. But being out there in the summer with their teammates, we're going to have a big team party before it's all over, and send them out the right way. But they missed the season, and it's sad. So just to be with their buddies and be with their coach and be on their school field for the last time it's been pretty special.
And you know what's cool? I give a lot of credit to the class of 2020 because a lot of them that I've talked to, and I've talked to a lot of them, they're resilient. You know what I mean? They know what's going on, and they've moved past it. They're looking ahead.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's just in life. When you get knocked down, you got to get back up. And they are resilient, and they're going through something that we've never had to go through before. And they've handled it with class and dignity, and they'll be better people because of it someday. Better college athletes or whatever it might be. Nobody's had to deal with this kind of stuff. So they've been great. They've been great. And it's been sad, but it's also something they will never forget.
You know, it's a great life skill. If you can actually have some gratefulness, especially in your young life, and appreciate what you have at the moment, then yeah, you are certainly going to be better off for it. No question about it. And Lawrence Tech fans should be thrilled to hear that there are 4 Liggett seniors who will be Blue Devils in the fall, and they'll be joining some other former Knights who are currently on the squad.
Yes. I'm excited to see those guys move on and play college baseball. And Lawrence Tech's had a great baseball program, and I remember Coach Stan Eldridge was always saying, gosh, I want to get those Liggett kids. They're so well prepared. We want to get them into our program. I want as many as you can. And he's run a great program, and these kids want to go there and play for him. And I'm excited to watch them go to the next step and the next level, especially these seniors that didn't get to play this year.
I know we all heard ad nauseum as Michigan was making that run in the NCAA tournament about the fact that they lost to Lawrence Tech. I think they were the last team to beat them, you know. But that shows you the quality of the program that Stan is building there.
Oh, absolutely. It's exciting. It's right in our own backyard, and it's real baseball. Okay, when people want to say, "Oh, it's Lawrence Tech," no, it's real college baseball with great coaching, great players, kids that have had unprecedented high school careers. So you can get drafted out of Lawrence Tech just like you can get drafted out of Michigan or Michigan State. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, if you have the talent, they will find you. And they get to play at Jimmy John's Field, which is cool in itself.
Absolutely. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Now, as far as games taking place in the state of Michigan this summer, that is all about to begin as well. Obviously, social distancing, other measures included. Talk about the steps that you need to comply for each game for parents who might be watching and just wondering, how are you making and keeping it safe and still complying with everything the state requires?
Well, we're making sure that the parents are a safe distance away. Nobody's sharing bottled water or water bottles or anything like that. I mean, you know, in a regular baseball, there's moms running into dugouts, handing stuff to everybody. We're not having that happen for sure. And the kids aren't using the same stuff. They're not borrowing each other's gloves or bats, their helmets. We want everyone to use their own stuff. We sanitize our equipment before and after every game, sanitize the baseballs, alternate baseballs every other day, buckets of balls so we don't have the same balls. I'm just trying to be have as much precaution as we possibly can.
And you had told me when we talked before about something you have to do with your phone.
Yes, we at Liggett have a code on the gate. So we open up our phone to camera mode, we hit the code, and then there's a questionnaire on there that talks about, do you have a fever? Have you been on a plane in the last 24 hours? Do you know anybody that's been around anyone that's had COVID-19? Has anyone in your family had it? They're questions that everybody should be answering they are answering before they can step foot into the facility. It's a precautionary thing. And everyone's going to obviously be honest about it. So we want to make sure that there's nobody walking in that had been around it or had it or been on a plane in the last 24 hours. So to keep everyone else safe that they're around.
Let me ask you this, and it's just been floated around, and again, it's just rumor and speculation, but I could see some merit. Could you ever see a scenario this fall that if they feel, for whatever reason, safety measures cannot be enforced properly with contact sports such as football and soccer, that perhaps for 1 year only, they move baseball to a fall sport for this year, move football to the spring where it's more likely a vaccination might be available for coronavirus?
Yeah, I've heard that being kicked around, and it's a double-edged sword, I think. Whereas a baseball coach, I would love it. I think the weather's better. We can get a lot in, and we'll be playing right away. The only question as a baseball coach is, what happens if something does come around and they cancel the season again? Now those spring sports kids and coaches have now missed 2 years of athletic competition, and then they're going to have to wait a whole nother year for it to come around again. So that's the scary thing as a coach. But no problems aside, I get it. I get it, because the contact sport with football and being so close and hands-on as it is, it's a precaution. It's a worry for people. I totally understand that. If we were guaranteed 100% playing and have the championships in the fall in Michigan State, I'd be all for it. But there's so much up in the air that could really damage our sport in the high school level, all our sports in the spring, if those young men and women have to miss 2 whole seasons of sports. That would be devastating.
No question about it. No question about it. So, well, Dan, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck with the team. Good luck this fall, and we'll talk again.
All right. Thanks, Lorne. Appreciate it.
All right, so we really appreciate Dan coming on again. That was pre-recorded because he has a game in Ohio right now. Now, we've also got baseball in what happened this week in state champs history. "2015 is the year for this Division I baseball state title tilt between Portage Northern and Heartland. Both teams looking for their first crowning achievement. This game went into extra innings tied at 1. Heartland's number 9 hitter, Brett Oliver, in the bottom of the 10th, the shot over the right fielder, and the Eagles won its first baseball state title in school history. This week in state champs history, presented by Lawrence Tech Athletics. Recruit yourself at ltuathletics.com. Now, COVID-19 could not stop us from celebrating this year's DAC Foundation's 12 Michigan High School Athletes of the Year. We have a great show premiering this Monday night. Here's a preview. The annual Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Male and Female Michigan High School Athletes of the Year celebration is premiering this Monday night, June 15th at 6 p.m. on all of the State Champs social media channels, our website, statechampsnetwork.com, our downloadable free streaming app, as well as dacathleteoftheyear.com and its companion Facebook page. Instead of choosing individual winners, and let's face it, there are some finalists who didn't even get a chance to have a spring senior season, we are celebrating all 12 in a great way. You'll see in-depth features on the likes of Okemos diving sensation Hunter Hollenbeck, Plymouth's Mr. Cross Country Carter Solomon, Detroit Edison's Miss Basketball Gabrielle Elliott, Farmington Hills Mercy Miss Volleyball Jess Merzick, and 8 others. Great interviews, too, with each finalist as we celebrate 12 incredible student athletes who exemplify the spirit of the class of 2020 one last time. Join us Monday night, June 15th at 6 p.m. here on the State Champs Sports Network for the Detroit Athletic Club's Michigan Athletes of the Year celebration. All right, it's going to be a fantastic show, so join us Monday night. Let's take a look at today's clip of the day. And that's your clip of the day. And it has begun. Welcome sight. All right, send us a link to your clip on any of our social media platforms and we'll check it out. We love our partnership with the Detroit Medical Center's Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan because they provide critical services to not only help you recover from any sports injury you may have, but also make you a better athlete. Michael Phelps made cupping a phenomena. Now you can enjoy the benefits here at home. Here's a sample of that segment on DMC's Game Changers.
As we place a cup on, you can see the soft tissue gets lifted. Now we can increase somebody's mobility by manipulating the cup to relieve adhesions and give more motion, in this case to the IT band. We can also utilize this cup to glide and move fluid. So if someone has a lot of swelling, we can move that out like an ankle sprain, or as a recovery, we can use this same gliding to move lactic acid after a workout.
Check out the full 2-minute versions of every Game Changer segment. All 15 of them are on our website, statechampsnetwork.com, and our free app. We also have a complete playlist on our State Champs YouTube page as well. Take advantage of that. All right, let's check out the results of yesterday's Hungry Howie's Twitter question of the day. How did you feel about the Tigers draft pick of Spencer Torkelson? 64% of you said you love it, and I agree. In fact, the entire draft is getting incredible grades from all over the nation. So A+ in some cases. So we'll see how it turns out. Monday on Live, former Detroit Depors and Canadian football star Kevin Glenn will join us. He's the only player in CFL history to play for every franchise. He's got a great story, and he has an interesting job back here at home now with Detroit Catholic Central. We'll talk about it Monday at 2 p.m. And if you know of a guest you'd like to see here on Live, please email our show coordinator, Amanda. Her email address, amanda@yellowflagproductions.com. The weather doesn't get any better than right now, so get out there, enjoy it, have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday.
Right now, we are all longing for the roar of a crowd, the excitement of a stadium filled with cheering fans, and the ecstasy of celebrating a hard-fought victory. Right now, we're all on the same team, and we must do our part to make sure as many students, athletes, coaches, teachers, parents, and loved ones are there when we have the luxury to resume our rivalries and start rooting for our teams once again. Stay home and stay safe.
State Champs Live is presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare. Hungry Howie's, famous for flavor, and the Detroit Medical Center. Do you have a sports injury or are just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers.